for being a tech company called Uber, you sure as hell got a lot of glitches. So we got a email from somebody here talking about an auto-accept glitch, and then we're going to be going on to another glitch dealing with cash rides. So something that I've been talking about when I put out that video a couple of months ago, talking about when you change your preferences to something that you want, make sure you are paying attention because Uber likes to switch it on you. And this is a little bit different. So Sergio, why don't you get into this one?
Yeah, absolutely. So I get these emails, and once in a while, I put them on Google Docs so we can make a slide out of it. And so I got this one. You guys got to be careful with this, people. I don't know. I sent this to Uber. We'll see. Good morning, sir. Good morning. I hope you're doing well this morning. I'm having an issue with the auto accept button, which is turned on. You guys got to check that in your app. It's under your preferences. Sometimes it kind of slides to the right once in a while by itself somehow. I don't know how that works, but it does. Not only it's turned on, but it's stuck. It's grayed out, so I can't change it. That's a problem, Chris.
Yeah.
Problem, right?
So that's a big problem.
Kind of like Uber locked it on me, forcing me to either take auto accepted rides or cancel the auto accepted rides, which we know will then cause CR drops or CR increases, actually.
Yeah.
And Uber can potentially deactivate for poor CR. Yes and no. I'm wrong. Am I wrong in thinking that Uber could be retaliating against me for cherry picking? No, I don't think Uber cares about an individual driver. And I say that because for the past 1.5 years, I've been doing this full time, and I have kept my AR in the high 90s area and my CR around 4%. With good purpose. I mainly keep it high because I did intend on using the perks such as free online tuition. Absolutely. That's the only reason to keep an high AR. One day recently, I was watching a few of your videos, all the while being peppered with all the $3 and $4 rides I could handle. And I heard you in my head saying, no, Uber, I will not take this. Absolutely. Now you will have an app for that. At that moment, I decided to spend the day cherry picking rides. I went from a 90-something% AR to 50 or below in one day.
Now you know why when we were going over yesterday or last week's episode, how the one screenshot I showed you with the session summary, they have 526 ride offer or delivery offers in 10 hours. Yeah. That shows you. So he went from 90% AR down to 50.
That's what happens when you decline and recline. I've been in touch with Uber technical support. Good luck on that. And in typical fashion, nobody can seem to figure it out. I did update the app on the same day, I believe, that I started having this problem yesterday. And how I discovered this issue was because I was getting ready to be finished for the day, and I was on a telephone call. When I hung up on the phone and went to text my friend, I looked at my phone to use the keypad, and my Uber driver app said that I was headed to pick up Michael. Of course, I'm thinking of the F is Michael. Come out to find out Michael turned out to be a very nice 40-minute, $120 Uber Black ride, which I'm very thankful for. But it made me realize the auto accept was actually turned on. So he accepted a good trip. Sergio, have you heard of this issue before? No, I haven't, but Uber definitely knows about it. That's why we call it a glitch. Below are the screenshots. So this is what's happening. So you guys see his on the left hand screenshot where it says under his preferences, right? You have all those boxes, and then you have a toggle switch. His auto accept is turned on and stuck on. So, yeah. So check your apps, please, before you get out there and driving every shift. Let's see what's happening. If you guys are seeing this, please email me, Sergio@therideshareguy.com, with a similar screenshot. His is grayed out, meaning like locked, like he can't toggle it off. Definitely do not be using auto accept. Definitely not. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the one thing that I don't like that you can see on the next screenshot, look at what it says, auto accept trip swaps. So you know what that is? That's the Lyft switcheroo coming to Uber. So save time by getting rematched to a rider that's closer to your location. Cancellations count toward Uber Pro status. Turn off preference anytime in preferences. Guess what? Can't turn it off.
Yeah,
So
and you know there was actually
that's
big
a
news.
little problem too.
Yeah, that's a problem. And I haven't seen this. I honestly, I looked in my own app. I don't even have auto accept. One of my
Yeah.
preferences.
Well,
I don't even have it.
that's the whole thing. Like if so what I think the screenshot is for this is that trip swap crap, because if you look at it, how it's talking about you can turn off anytime in preferences.
Yeah,
So it seems like it's this auto accept trip swaps. Um, and the other auto accept is under settings in the app. Like you got to go deeper in the app to turn that on or off.
I did. I wasn't
So
there. But look, I mean, some cities like Matt is saying they don't even have auto accept in Boston. So I don't know. It must be city specific. But this driver is stuck. Uber, let's not play games. Just fix the damn glitch or whatever the heck is going on here. We should have the choice of auto accept. Some drivers like auto accept, like the Donnie Disco that I interviewed. He has it on. He just takes every trip.
Mhm.
But long story short, yeah, this is a glitch, and we'll have another glitch that showed up in my email box this week,
Oh yeah.
and that was this one. So cash chips, okay, and the you must understand now when you're doing cash chips, you do have a choice of doing cash chips or not doing cash chips. I highly recommend. I personally wouldn't do cash chips, although one of our good friends, Roxy, likes cash chips as a female. On top of that, I'm like, hey, to each their own. I don't think it's safe. I don't think you guys should do it. And what has happened to this driver is that he, in the morning when he got up to work from the day before, he had cash accept cash chips toggled off like this, Chris. The next morning, it was on, but he thought, well, the
Mm.
day before I toggled it off, I'm fine.
One thing I always say is work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, then you may be working harder. So let's change that. Download the app, link your accounts where you can manage your income, track your expenses, and project your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download Solo and begin to work smarter, not harder today. Link is in the description. All right, let's get back to it.
So here's a tip for you all. Check your preferences before your shift every day, because those boxes magically get
Mm-hmm.
things happen. and
You know,
and it
and
gets
that
toggled on.
started. You know,
So they
that
sent him a
started
cash
years.
chip.
Yeah, and that started for me years ago, and I'm sure everybody else when it came to Uber Eats coming into the areas. And like I said, when I first started doing Uber Eats, I'm like, hey, this isn't bad because you're getting X amount of dollars every single trip, so it made it
Yeah,
worth it. But then it was like, okay, this is getting annoying because the only after a certain amount of time, it would just be McDonald's orders because that was pretty much the only thing that was open and on the app at the time. Because this is going back to like 2018,
yeah,
and so what ended up happening was I'd just be like turning it off, and then a week or so would go by, and then all of a sudden you see delivery, and it's like, no, I didn't accept, or I don't want Uber Eats, and then you go into the preferences, and there it is, it's checked on
yeah.
again.
It's turned on.
So I mean, anytime you turn off a preference because you don't want it,
Yeah,
this is something that you need to continually check all of the time because um, it could just change itself.
I mean,
And I don't know if it's always going to be necessarily on Uber, but it could potentially be sometimes when you update the app.
yeah,
Especially pay attention to that because whenever you update an app, preferences can get changed. And that could just be like a default setting within the update itself. Not necessarily a nefarious thing, but it could be construed that way because they're allowing for that to happen. But yeah, it's definitely something that if you do not want to take a particular ride, whether it's like cash rides or teen rides, or you don't want to take Uber X, or you don't want to take deliveries or whatever it might be, make sure you check your preferences before you go online every time, just because you don't want to run into that and then all of a sudden something pops up and maybe you're not necessarily paying attention real much. Maybe you're just looking at, a couple of key figures to know real quick. And you're not necessarily looking at like Uber Pet, and you don't want to take a pet.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Well, the thing, I mean, you have to, as a driver, especially as a full-time driver, you have to be an autopilot. Okay, so now the gig you app will make you an autopilot, accepting, declining. But on these things, have a checklist in the morning before you start your car. It takes you literally 30 seconds or less, right? Click on preferences, make sure your preference, because I have a video actually that I did on Sergio's Diaries. It's on the channel. It walks you through how to set your preferences depending on what you want to do for that day. And maybe for lunchtime, you want to, when rideshare is slow, you should maybe turn on your Uber Eats or DoorDash app on, because that's when you can make some good tips and good money, because rideshare is slow at that hour. But what I'm trying to say is that make it a habit that every morning or before every shift, even when you log off, let's say you work for 4 hours, morning shift, you go home, take a break, you're going to go out in the afternoon, same thing. When you get in the car, just like buckling up, look at your preferences, check your preferences, and then move on. I think it'll actually end up making you a little bit more money if you really did that, because look, this gentleman didn't want to do cash trips, but then it was toggled on and he got a cash trip. Uber sent him a cash trip. I'm like, you got it. I mean, it's simple. It takes 30 seconds and, takes
I also like how it says when you toggle the switch for accept cash or not, it says can take up to 15 minutes to update. So even if you have to switch it over, just note that you still may be getting a potential cash trip if you turn it off, because it takes 15 minutes. But I'm guaranteeing if you turn the toggle on where you'll accept it, right then and there, it'll be ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, make it a habit, make it a good habit.
Yep. It's kind of like those things where it's like, oh, you can't use a destination filter right now because there's too much ride demand in your area. No,
by the way,
what I want to do.
Oh, by the way, I could not squeeze it in because I got it literally an hour before the show. Email box blew up. Email box blew up. Yep.
What now?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What did you just say? What did you just say about DF?
DFs? How that you can't use them because of it's too busy in the area?
No, it's going to be an issue. Not that the DF is as valuable as it was when we didn't know where we were going. After our front pairs, DF kind of lost its meaning, honestly. It's like, where you're going. I mean, you just kind of go. Yeah.
I think to a point, but if you're planning out your day and, you want to be in a specific area around a certain time or, stay within a certain area, I definitely think it still has its value. And it's just using the tools to your advantage and what you need them for to make it better. So then that way, you're filtering out some of those requests that are coming. So you don't have to, continually get bombarded with certain rides that you're like, no, I don't want to go that way. No, I don't want to take that one. No, it's not worth it. So it definitely does have its value still.
Well, definitely that's going to be on next week, one of the topics. I may even actually do a video, push that out earlier than next week, and we'll just touch upon next week. Yeah. There's some changes coming to Uber DF.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.